Pick Your Brain Podcast.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Pick Your Brain Podcast, a platform to showcase creatives, social issues, mental health, and community empowerment. I'm Simone.
What's up? It's your boy Kyle, aka DJ Asthmatc.
What up, Kim, folks? It's Mike D. What's good?
Yo, what up, folks? It's MC Churro, your boy Jonathan. Oh. So it looks like we got a special guest here today.
Who that?
On my left. You wanna
introduce yourself, baby?
Okay, so my name's Elena. On the internet, though, I'm either like Mint Addict or Mint Addict 13, depending on if it got taken on a particular platform or not, like just Mint Addict. But yeah, I am MC Churro's girlfriend.
Woo!
Unfortunately.
Woo! Unfortunately.
Wait, hold on, bro.
Fortunately, she said. Yeah.
Wait, was it unfortunately or fortunately?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Damn, right when I was gonna tell you something, I was like, hit that sprinkle love shit one.
That I stopped it right away and put that.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, we've been going 3 years.
Yeah, so we just had our 3-year anniversary a couple weeks ago.
What did y'all do?
Actually, no, like a month ago. Yeah.
Was it a month ago? I felt like that was last week when you got. No,
Well,
that was
we
2
had the
weeks ago,
dinner.
huh?
We had the dinner.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you had a dinner.
I'm all acting like I know when you're. I'm like, oh yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
Excuse me? You're missing on your deadlines right here. Yeah, no. So we didn't do anything on the actual day because Elena ended up getting like a new job and stuff like that. So you know how that goes, right? You get acclimated with a new job, new place, and so you got to give yourself time to settle in. So then I was like, well, it's okay. We'll just wait till you're settled in, and then we'll just go have a nice dinner and stuff. So yeah.
What'd you guys eat?
Yeah.
I ate some filet mignon, bro. Damn, bro, we be eating, bro.
Did you guys get some wine?
Yeah, that's why I said last episode.
Of course.
Don't mind.
We got some bubbly,
Some bubbly?
Some
What's
bubbly.
bubbly?
like champagne.
Oh, okay, I did not know. Now I know.
It's carbonated, so
Now I know.
I was kind of
I was like, oh, what's bubbly?
I was like, what's bubbly? A drug?
I was like, shit.
Well,
It's apple
Pills
cider.
now?
like that, bro.
I mean, she said she was mint addict, bro. I mean, fuck.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, to be honest, that's why I said last episode, like, yo, guys, I'm a little too much on the rosé today, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm a little,
He's like, yeah.
There's a theme here. Rosé, pink hair, pink hoodie.
Hashtag on brand.
Okay. Pink nails.
On one hand, though, the other one's like pride to celebrate pride,
Okay.
Yeah, this
Celebrate Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
Pride Month.
She on brand. Let's go.
Of course.
Yeah, so,
Jonathan, you're supposed to be leading this.
okay. So, what do you like to do on your free time, babe?
What kind of interview is this? No, okay. So, other than spending time with my boo thing.
Okay. Should we leave the room? Hold on. Should we just leave the room?
I think we gotta
Allow
go.
them to just be themselves.
Just give them the keys, Mike. Give them the keys.
I really like doing nails. Although doing like the fancy, like, kind of like nail enhancement, that sort of thing, like acrylics and stuff. I kind of only got into that as of like December of last year, just because I've been like itching to like, get my nails did. I used to go to like Queenie's Nail Spa and like, get the whole like a full set, plus pedicure, just treat myself, that sort of thing. But, because of the pandemic, I'm just like, I want to get my nails did, but I ain't trying to go to the salon right now. So I'm just like, why don't I try and like learn how to do it myself, right? And so like I looked up, hella YouTube videos, University of YouTube. You can honestly find like how to do so much stuff, and I just kept like practicing and whatever, and so I kind of got the hang of it. Could definitely still improve, but it's actually really fun. I used to dabble with just like nail polish and stuff, like doing like nail art beforehand, but then I don't know. depression hit really hard when I was finishing up university, so I just kind of like left that like hobby and that sort of stuff. I kind of got back into it, but it's just like something I really enjoy. I just like the look of it, and just like having a design to like whenever I'm just like bored, I look at it, I'm like, ooh, so pretty, and just like it's like a conversation starter. They're like, oh my god, your nails, and I'm like, thank you. It's like temporary art, and it just like. It's like a way to express myself, so I really like it. So
I did have a question, Jonathan.
What's up?
Can we see your back?
My back?
Yeah, you have scratches. She got nails. You know what I mean?
No, it's not the claws though. It's not the claws.
No, I have like coffin/square nails just because they're easier to like type/game on, which. Gaming is another one of my hobbies, kind of how I spend my free time. Mostly computer gaming. I do mess with some console stuff, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, that sort of stuff. I mostly grew up playing like handheld console games, which then progressed to like, kind of like regular console, like on the TV. And eventually got into PC gaming kind of later, mostly just because like, to do PC gaming, there's a little bit of like a price barrier, like to get like a decent.
A little.
Oh, how much? Like, what's the range,
bro?
Well, okay, so if you want like a bare minimum kind of computer that will like just play like Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox at like a basic setting, you could get like a pre-built for around like $500-$600.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you need.
I love Roblox.
You need like the processor and like RAM and graphics so that it like actually like runs relatively well. But obviously, people like to push it, like even further and like It just goes upwards of there for like enthusiasts. This wouldn't be any like enterprise level servers, that sort of stuff. That's a whole different market. But from like enthusiasts and like gamers and that sort of stuff. You can have a bougie ass rig, with like custom cooling and lights, whatever. That could be like $5,000, $6,000, just depending on like, what kind of processor you put in there, which is like the main brain of the computer, and then like the graphics for all the fancy graphics, what line graphics card. Like that stuff costs money.
Mike, don't you have like a build or something like that, or just a little?
Oh no, I just got it off Craigslist.
Pre-built.
Yeah, you built it though, right? You didn't build it?
I thought you were like
all I
into
gotta do is
PC
turn it
buildings
on.
too, or like.
No. I did have a question though.
Oh yeah.
I have another question. So, what was that first game? One of those nostalgic video game that got you into gaming? And maybe that question to everyone. Maybe start with Elena.
Oh, okay.
Fuck! What the fuck?
I would say like the games that I really started off on, like this was like way back in the day. So like Game Boy Advance, like Pokemon games, and then also like those like Harry Potter games.
Oh, Harry
like,
Potter
the Harry Potter
games?
things. Yeah, like they had, like
Yes.
for like the Game Boy Advance, like little handheld consoles and that sort of stuff. And I played like various like random little toy stuff, but it's just I don't have a really cool story about how I got into video games, because literally I would just see like kids in my class like play on their like Game Boy Color and like that sort of stuff because their parents bought it for them, and I'm just like, wow, that looks really cool. Hey mom, I want one. She's just like, well, as long as you do good in school. And then I got one, and then I was just like hooked, man. There was just something about like role playing games that like the story and stuff.
Yeah, it's
bro,
immersive. It's immersive.
And
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
it just went on from there. Like I kind of just got me into video games, but obviously it's not just a phase, Mom.
It's not just a phase.
Yeah, I still love it. I still play. What game I play will vary. Just depending on what's out or what I feel like playing.
Yeah,
but,
Do you make money off Twitch streaming? Just a question before we go to thing.
$2, bro.
$2? Like you make it like a decent couple, right?
So
I made $3.
on Twitch, if you like have if you've like streamed for a certain length of time with a certain amount of viewers and you have a certain follow account, you can get accepted into like their kind of affiliate program, which allows for monetization. So you do have like a subscription people can subscribe to, and you can also like design emotes, and depending on how much you unlock with the sub counts or follower counts, you can get more. And then if you want to go for like their partnership, which you get a better deal in terms of like the cut, kind of like YouTube AdSense, that sort of stuff, where they give you like kind of like a not as great deal just starting out, but obviously like the more you kind of like put yourself out there, like going from affiliate and you apply for the partnership program, you could go for the partnership program and make money. But streaming is something that like I've thought about doing, like as a living, but kind of at the moment it's just like a passion that I have, just a way to connect to friends. So it's just nothing serious right now.
Okay,
I'm just kind of seeing how things go, just in general.
Cool. So, what is everybody's game that got them into gaming?
Kyle, what was
That
your first
nostalgic game.
We played SmackDown versus Raw with all my cousins.
What? Wait, what is that?
We used to have a PS2, right? And how there's like adapter because they wouldn't allow more than like 4 controllers. We would plug an extra one in, and then our little cousin, her name is Brianna. Shout out to Brianna. We used to let her play, right? And all we did was we gave her a fake controller, pretending that she was
I
That
remember
always
you
gets
telling
done
me.
to like younger siblings or younger
all the
cousins.
time.
Bro.
And then you're like Brianna, stop hitting me. You act like they're hitting you.
You like try to go with it so that they feel
That-
like they're playing.
That and The Sims.
Yeah.
I used to play The Sims a lot.
Holy shit, bro!
Yeah, I
you
haven't
would
gotten
go.
into The Sims, but like my sister goes, and like her friends go hard on The Sims.
Like, do they like make houses and all that and go crazy?
Yeah,
Wow.
and there's just you never know what's gonna happen because it's your Sims could do a wild number of things, and then people set up these like challenges too, like just it's crazy, man.
I like to kill them.
Dude, I remember.
Like challenges relating to like offing them. And
Yeah,
stuff.
like I
Just,
set them on
making
fire,
crazy
make them
amount of
drown.
pain.
Yeah,
Dog,
remember?
I remember growing up with you, dog. Every time I came over to your freaking house, bro, it's like, hey, dude, I got a new world on The Sims. I'm like, dude. And then you'd be like, dude, I just killed this guy. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Not this guy, this sim. Get it right, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
I
Okay.
always thought the accidental drowning when they're like skinny dipping was like hilarious.
They're naked too.
Or just like random like kitchen fires and they just don't know how to put it out.
Okay.
What
All right,
about,
real quick, shout out to the folks. Make sure to comment what was your game, what's your favorite game when you were a kid. So yeah, we'll check that out.
what about you, Simone? What was your first game?
I don't know. To be honest with you, like, I'm trying to think. But I remember like with my cousins and stuff, we would play Smash. Like
Like
Wait,
Melee,
what
right?
console? What console?
Melee.
most recently it's been oh my god, what
Nintendo
console
Switch?
is it? Yeah, the Switch. But originally it was what's it called? Super old thing.
The
The
GameCube?
GameCube.
Yeah, that's the Melee.
GameCube.
That was Super
Yeah.
Smash Brothers Melee, which is like a lot of people like they say that's like the best like Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, that's all I remember from when I was like younger. But then like I remember when like I got the Wii. There's this one Wario like game. It was not Mario, it was Wario, and there's a whole bunch of like mini games that you could play, and I loved it so much.
Oh, I think I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was so good.
So in terms of Smash, which character did you play all the time?
I don't know. Kirby.
Kirby's OP. Fucking OP.
Probably Kirby.
Okay.
But it's sometimes yeah, I think that's it. Just Kirby.
Just
Basic ass Kirby.
I like cycle through the Fire Emblem characters, which there's like multiple of them, despite not having played Fire Emblem. I'm just like, these are some cool people with swords. I'm gonna pick them like Marth.
But yeah.
Marth and Link when I was playing Melee, man.
Yeah.
It's the poke. It's the poke.
But then one
Yeah,
time
what the Pope?
I wanted to be funny and I chose like the Wii character, the yoga Wii character.
We Fit? Oh
Wii Fit
my
one.
God,
Oh my
yeah,
god, it was
yeah.
so funny. It didn't do anything. Like I didn't. It all yoga poses all day, and I was like, I'm not gonna win. But yeah.
Yeah, We Fit Trader is
How,
hilarious.
Yeah.
how about you, Jonathan? What's your game that got you into gaming?
Oh, fuck, dude. So it's one of these two choices. So when I was like 4 years old, I think, like competent enough to like know how to play a fucking controller, it was either I played Crash Bandicoot on my PlayStation 1, or it was my Nintendo 64, and it was if you guys are familiar with Hey You Pikachu. It's like this one game where you like interact with Pikachu. You got like the fucking mic on there, and it's like Pikachu, run. But the mic never works, so Pikachu just look at you like, what the fuck you want me to do? And it's like, bro, I just said it like 5 times, bro. Fuck, dude.
No wonder why you're a Pikachu like fanboy.
Oh yeah, bro. I got like 3 Pikachu like stuffed like dolls or animals or whatever you call them, plushes. Yeah,
Plushes.
in my room.
When we used to play Smash, you used to always play fucking Pikachu all the time.
But that's where it
Yeah,
came
you
from, the Hey You
did. Or was that Abraham?
It was probably Abraham.
that was
'Cause you know
Abraham.
that you know when he can use,
Pika
like,
pika.
you know when he can
Yeah.
use like thunder.
Yeah.
He just spammed that shit. It's
Yeah.
always thunder. Just
That was fucking
coming out.
Abraham.
God,
Fucking Abraham.
It's like one of those 2 games. One of those 2 games, but
Okay.
How about you, Mike?
Uh,
Are you a gamer?
I'm just a gamer, not a gamer.
what's the difference?
Definitely.
Gamer's like you're a
There's
gamer.
different
Yeah.
levels, whether you like casual, like mid-core, or hardcore, that sort of thing.
So I'm not a casual, but I'm not a gamer. So I'm in between, you know.
Okay,
Right
okay.
now I play League of Legends. I play
Okay.
other things,
Holy
and
shit.
so yeah, I play World of Warcraft. I played Final Fantasy, MMORPG.
Yeah,
So I like
wait,
the
14
RPG.
or just 14, right? Not 11, because I think some private servers are still up for 11, but it's kind
Yeah.
of dying out. It's the one that preceded 14.
Right.
You could apparently play it on the PS2, and like connecting to the internet on a PS2, like
What the fuck?
It's just like sounded like a bad idea.
Yeah. But my favorite is Street Fighter, of course.
Oh,
And my
Street Fighter.
favorite
Wait, like-
character is what's the Thai guy with
the what?
like a thing on his chest? I forgot his name. It's like
Thai
Muay Thai.
dude?
Muay Thai.
The Thai dude.
And Street Fighter. Oh my God, I forgot his name. I'm lost.
It's not Ryu, right?
No.
Is it like a bald guy?
The bald guy.
Is
Yeah.
it a bald guy?
Yeah.
Does it start with a Z or something like that?
You guys, the guy with the tie, he has like tiger uppercut.
I don't know.
I
I
only-
don't know enough Street Fighter. I
Yeah.
just know like Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li, Vega. That's it.
Yeah.
Wait, but
Okay.
like, did you play that on like a console or the arcade? Like,
Arcade,
fucking,
arcade.
Yeah.
The OG
Fucking
arcade.
buttons, bro. Pa, pa, pa,
Yeah,
pa, pa.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was the shit, man.
You spend your like fucking quarters there, just no, one more game, mom.
And then you put like the quarter because you're next with the quarter. I got next.
Elena, I got a question for you. So, I think a couple episodes ago, he told us about the story of him trying to ask you out.
We want
How
to
many
confirm.
minutes was it? How many minutes was it? I need to know. He said it was like maybe a good 15.
Let's hear it from the other
And he finally asked you on a
perspective.
date.
You mean like a realistic estimate, or just like what it felt like?
What it
Both,
felt like
both,
and
both,
realistic,
both.
yes.
Oh, that's an insult, bro. What it felt like, bro. She's probably gonna say like 3 years.
Okay, for on like the real, maybe it was somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes of rambling.
Shit.
But like, I would say it kind of felt like 15. Like it was really just like I was trying not to be like an asshole, and I'm just like, yeah. Just waiting for it to be done.
Yeah.
Like I knew he was nervous, and I was interested, and I'm like, oh, okay. But I like just let him say his stuff, but like he kind of kept going. I was just like, okay.
Okay.
And I was just like, yeah, I'd really like to go out with you and stuff. Like, yeah. And he was just like,
He almost fainted.
Did you actually do that? Because I can imagine him.
I can imagine him. I'm dying right
I
now.
don't remember if he actually did that, but that was like the kind of emotion he was having, and I was just like,
Fucking water signs.
Okay, I haven't been in relationships before, so I wasn't like super like it wasn't uncharted territory, so I wasn't like super, getting crazy nervous. I was just like, I know what I want and I'm gonna get it. So
Oh fuck.
I knew you
Okay.
were interested too, so I was just like, there's no guessing and stuff, and like I feel like he's asking me out, so I just gotta wait till he's done telling me.
If I'm being honest, so I have a really good memory, so like I can
Yeah,
remember.
I'm not the one with the great memory. He's the one who was just like remembers all the dates when we did stuff, and I'm just like, okay, yeah. Okay, I believe
I know it was like, I asked her out May 7th. It was like 12:30 something a.m.
Damn.
but
Jesus Christ.
yeah, I remember
No, okay,
details.
so
bro.
to put into context, he would like back when he was still working at Best Buy, he would like give me rides home and stuff, and we would just like, you know, because we were like, you know, interested in each other and stuff, we would like have like, you know, like deep conversations like in the car, and he would just be like, you know, parked on my driveway, and we would just like talk for hours, you know. So that was just like why it was like kind of around like past midnight, because we would just be like talking about stuff and, you know, that sort of thing.
You know, the day that I asked, so going back to what I was saying, right? The day I asked her out, so my car, right? I have obviously the gear shift. And so I just remember like, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna shoot my shot. And I was like, I looked at Elena, I was just like, oh, will you go out with me, that sort of stuff? And then I just looked to like the left where like the fucking door handle's at, and I'm like, fuck, she's about to say no. And I was like, all right, brace for impact. And so when she said yes, which is what she was pointing out to, when she said yes, I was like, what the fuck, you didn't say no? You know what I'm saying? Because I was just like, you know what, I don't know what's gonna happen, so I was like, fuck it, just brace for the worst.
You were looking.
He said, like holding your breath until the answer.
I said, will you go out with me? Fuck.
It's like a roller coaster before the drop.
I kind of like knew that what you were going through mentally at the time, so I was just being patient, but I knew you were kind of like, it was maybe something you haven't done before, or not very often, like asking people out, so that's why I was just kind of like chilling and not saying like, man, hurry the fuck up, you know.
Very understanding.
I kind of
Spit it out.
Like I could see that's kind of where you were coming from. So,
Okay.
But I didn't say anything because that would just be like an
Oh,
you know.
at least.
What?
Oh my god.
That's Jonathan's game right there. That's how he does it. That's
It's
how he
bad,
spits it,
bro.
right?
It's bad, bro.
So maybe a question, maybe to the ladies. Would y'all be open to asking a man out?
Yeah.
Would
I? No. Am I open? Yeah.
Yeah, but no. She said
Rhetorically, Elena, I know you guys are booed up and everything, but just rhetorically, would you ask a man out? Would you have asked Jonathan out?
Oh, okay. There we go.
I mean,
Could have saved me a lot of
I
stress.
definitely could have, but I wanted him to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Although
Yeah.
I think I could be wrong, but I think there was a situation where I did ask someone out.
Okay.
Kind of a complicated situation where like I was in high school, I dated someone initially, and I was just like, maybe not, but then I kind of ended up getting back with my ex, and I think that's when I like asked him.
Okay.
And then that was 4 years of my life that I'll never get back, but you know.
Hey,
And for the
true.
boys,
It's, you know, it's all a learning experience.
For sure.
Which is kind of something that like I realized, you know, it has shaped me to the person that I am. So I
Yeah.
mean, I guess maybe that's harsh, but you know,
It's okay.
Yeah.
You're with MC Churro now.
Yeah.
MC Churro.
And so
That's right.
For the boys, would you all want to be asked out by a girl, or would you prefer you making the ask? Rhetorically for Jonathan, of course.
Jonathan, rhetorically. Why don't you answer first?
Isn't it technically?
Wait, hypothetically, because
Yeah, I was
rhetorically,
gonna say
means
Hypothetically, there you go. My bad. Thank you for the correction.
rhetorically, they're just like, no one answers.
Thank you.
Rhetorically, would you?
Hypothetically.
Got me looking like Socrates.
So if Elena asked you out that day,
Fuck, dude. You know how much stress that would have taken off?
He's like, thank God she likes me.
You know what? You know what? This is for the viewers, right? If you're single, if you're a simp, whatever the fuck it is, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, dude. That was a fucking trip that night. I will say though, because I was just like, I mean, like, you know. Realistically, I didn't have any game, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of like fucking, I'm like SpongeBob, just like, ooh, whatever there. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't really have any game, that sort of stuff. So when I shot my shot, I was just like, fuck it, let's.
that was part of your appeal.
Like, so,
That was part of the appeal.
So to answer your question though, in
Yeah.
a hypothetical sense, I feel like there's something like empowering of asking someone out. Like, I mean, it'd be fucking great if they said yes, right? But like, even just like now that I look back to it, right? It's also just like, even if they say no, right? It's just sort of like, you know what? You had the courage and the bravery to ask, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's admirable, you know? So, I mean, now, you know what I'm saying? I'm more educated. I got more of a feeling of myself, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, now I have like the boldness, but like,
Too on fire.
Get the fire extinguisher, Kyle.
Can't forget Elena. Elena probably helped you a lot with that.
oh, fuck yeah.
Elena
dude,
helped
what
you with
the
that a
fuck,
lot.
bro?
Wait. So
Wait. What about you, Kyle?
no.
What?
Like, wait,
She has a response. She has a
asking
response.
out in terms of like asking out on a date, or asking out as in like, can you be my lover?
Either way.
Because if it's can you be my lover, then I want the guy to ask. But if it's like, hey, you want to go out to lunch or on a date, then I'll ask.
That changes it.
Okay.
How about you, Elena? How about that? It was, can you be my lover? Would you want the guy to ask?
Do you want to be my lover?
I guess it just kind of depends on the situation. Like, if I'm feeling like, like confident and, I want to put myself out there, then I'll do that. But sometimes I just, like see what the guy says or if he's going to do it. A little bit as like a test. So
okay.
kind of.
Fuck.
What just
You
kind of-
passed though. It's been 3 years.
Fuck, dude. It's like worse than the SAT, bro. It's like more pressure.
Worse than the SAT.
More pressure.
Yeah, but just in terms of like, I mean, courting sounds like a really old school term, but just kind of like that. You initially kind of like you're interested in another person. You're kind of like gauging them, seeing what they're kind of like, and that sort of thing. So sometimes that's why, like in certain situations, I'm like, I'll let them do it, but
Cool.
I could if I wanted to.
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
was
yeah.
really feeling it.
You know
like
what?
that. I like that.
You know, I have a suggestion. You know what I'm saying?
What?
I say women should ask out more men. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag equality. You know, help us out a little bit, bro. Like,
So you don't have to sweat it, huh?
fuck.
Let's bring it back to Kyle. Let's go. What are your thoughts?
I mean, if they ask, then they ask, But most of the time, like the dates that I've been, I usually ask.
Okay.
But I'm very subtle about it. Like
Why
I'll
you
just
subtle?
like
Okay,
I'll like
okay,
sample.
Example.
I'm very subtle about it. Like I'll be like, hey, oh, you really like chicken? How about we go get some chicken tomorrow?
Get some chicken.
That's how I'm like. That's it. I'm very subtle, but I don't
so
maybe
you're like,
ask
you're-
formally.
You're like smooth. You're like
Yeah,
smooth
and then
with it.
I'll tell them like, yeah, this is a date, the day of the date.
Bro, don't do that.
Don't do that. I'll get it.
Yeah.
I'll get held
No,
to
just
like boy
well,
bye.
no. So the past girls that I've done it for, I already knew there was something there, so it's already set. Yeah, so I already knew. But if it's like jumpy, then okay, then I would ask like, hey, do you want to go on a date? Which I didn't have to, because we already knew there was something there. Does that make sense? So I already felt the intuition of what the situation was. I'm like, okay, let's just go for it.
Okay.
I would like to ask my future girlfriend for sure, because I like being romantic. So I like, out of this world type shit. Yeah.
Okay.
How about you,
it
Mike?
certainly sets the tone. So whether you're a dude wanting to ask someone out, if you're or a girl, or whatever you identify as, if you kind of like I want to put myself out there, and it's definitely intimidating, and you don't have to follow societal norms, but you kind of just do whatever you feel inclined to do. It's all a choice,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
As long as you're willing to learn from that experience, and it's one thing to want something, but there's also the other person, and willing to accept the other person. Yeah, I think for me, definitely, I don't mind being asked at all. I think it's if people are willing to share and and have the courage to share and ask, because sometimes we don't know how other people feel, and so it's always good to share and encourage people to be able to be honest. And so yeah, definitely. So for sure. So yeah, we're halfway here. Let's go, and we have absurdity of the day.
Yes. The absurdity of the day.
Let's go.
Shit, I just lost it, bro.
What's it gonna be?
I got it.
Okay. We're
I've
always
been watching a
excited
lot
when
of
Kyle.
anime lately. There was this one
Okay.
anime. It's called One Silent Boy or Voice or something like that. It was
Don't
so
look
sad.
at me, bro. I hardly
It's so
watch
sad.
anime.
It's so fucking sad. Y'all gotta watch it. It's on Netflix. It's about this this deaf girl who falls in love with her bully. It's like, what the fuck? It's some crazy ass shit. But okay,
Wait.
so yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I feel like I've heard. Maybe I might have seen the manga for that,
It might have been
like
the
in
yeah.
listings and stuff. But I don't remember if I might have took a peek at it and then just like said, "Not this ain't for me."
It's deep. Okay, but one anime character has 22 voice actresses.
What?
This is
Great.
It's a-
actresses.
22.
Actresses. Yeah, that's what I read.
Like voice actresses.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
That's
23 voices.
voices. Yeah, basically.
As a
I can
voice
see because they
actor?
have a lot of expression. There's always like they're really high, really low. Nani?
It's like a creative decision on.
Maybe.
Kind of reminds me like when they did Let It Go, Frozen, but like like multiple languages like Spanish, Mandarin, or like
Okay.
French and stuff. So when you said 22 voice actresses, I was like, Let it go, vámonos, or whatever that is.
Yeah. So that was the absurdity of the day.
Oh, what was the answer? Wait.
Wait, what was the absurdity? Oh,
An anime character has 22 voice actresses.
An anime character.
From the one he was just
Character
talking about.
22.
Which character is this?
I couldn't pull it up because the Wi-Fi was not
Trying to figure
working.
it out too.
The Wi-Fi
who
wasn't
is it? Which
working.
character is
Is
it?
it
My
the-
Wi-Fi's not
You
working.
said it was the character.
So I
that's
couldn't look
deaf?
into it more.
Okay, so that's
No. I was just saying that I was watching
Wait
an
a minute.
anime about a deaf character.
that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
wait, how could a deaf character?
No.
that one, not that
I was
one,
just
not that
talking
one.
about an anime I just recently watched.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's why I chose an anime absurdity.
I missed that part.
Yes,
Okay,
yes. Yeah.
and that's our absurdity of the day.
yeah, but you're right. I could see why. That was pretty absurd.
All right, back to our sponsorship. Elena, would you like to share?
Today's episode is sponsored by the Mint Addict channel on Twitch.tv.
Bruh.
What?
She said what?
Bro, I don't know how sponsorships work, but
So what's your channel?
so my channel, it's one that I created my account in like around like 2015 to like watch people, but then like stream Final Fantasy 14, which is a game that I mostly play nowadays. It's really the only one I play, and I was just like, maybe I should like kind of try this out and like do this sort of thing, and then I guess I don't know if I streamed exactly that same year, but I kind of, once I dabbled into it, I feel like, I just couldn't go back, man. It was just like really fun to like play games and also like connect with friends who were, they just kind of like, they find enjoyment in just like me playing games or like having like, like reacting to stuff. Like if I died or something, I'm like, God damn it, or just like, why am I like this? Or just like backflipping off a platform, and I'm just like, and like dying, and that's like a meme if you play Final Fantasy 14, where you do a certain move, you might know where it's like, like the Jagoon like backflips off the platform and dies. Yeah, but there's a job that I play mostly Red Mage where it has a backflip, and I'm notorious for doing that. But as of recently, I've also done some nail stuff on there. So if you want to check it out, it's twitch.tv/Mint Addict. I took a little bit of a break just because of my new job, but I'll be back on there soon, playing, showing my raid content, some somewhat hardcore gameplay, with my friends who, I like to chill with. They're hilarious and that sort of thing. We got, lots of inside jokes or whatever, and you can just, see me like wipe and die to stuff and just get upset about it. It's a good time.
The reactions, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm curious before we, in terms of Mint Addict, the name, how did you come up with the name and what does it mean to you?
So this was a username that I probably made when I was in like 4th, 5th grade. So thank you, childhood. Because I think I had some like email username I guess like maybe I'm not the most creative when it comes to like making like usernames, because some email that I had, I don't think I have anymore. Like the prior to was like Little Miss Kitty Girl. Like you have to think about like 2000. This is like like 2000s, like the 2000s era, right? You know, where the internet's kind of fresh. And like I wasn't on MySpace, but MySpace was the thing, like that kind of era, it. So, but I wanted something different than that. And like my sister, who she doesn't use this username now, but she used to have a miso soup addict username because she really like miso soup. So like anytime we were like go to like sushi places and stuff, she was just like, loved miso soup. And like, my mom didn't really like it, so she always gave her like her extra bowl, and they always like served it, right? And so I was just like at that like phase of like really well, my sister and I have a 6-year gap. She's 6 years older. So I had this, big sister, I like, oh, I want to be like her, right? So I wanted a username like hers. And so whenever my family would go on like road trips and stuff, I'd be in the back seat, right? And I would like want to play on my Game Boy, but like looking down, I would get like car sick. And so to curb the nausea, I would like eat like mints to kind of like calm that like nauseousness down a little bit. And like because I like Altoids were my shit, because it was like hella strong, so it was like I could like keep playing on my little like Game Boy Advance, whatever, and like because like car rides are boring, and like
Right.
like parents get tired of like, are we there yet, right? So I would like play in the back, or like it would also like kind of get me like motion sickness, so that's why I would do that. And so when I was looking at usernames, I'm like, ooh, maybe Mint Addict, right? But like certain there's some variations, just because sometimes the username would get taken on another platform, right? So being into Kingdom Hearts at the time, where if you know that game, the evil organization is called Organization 13, but spelt with the Roman numerals. So sometimes to put variations on my like username when it was already taken, I would put the XIII. But it would confuse people sometimes, because they're just like, what is that supposed to be? I'm just like, it's 13, but it's Roman numeral 13. So yeah, and I didn't bother. It just didn't look as cool if I did the regular, like
Right.
regular numerals and that sort of stuff. So that's yeah.
cool. That's cool. So y'all just heard the genesis story of Mint
Yeah.
Addict. So let me run the question to everyone. What was your first one of those names, gaming name or social media?
Username,
Yeah,
gamer
username.
tags,
That are like kind of like at the beginning, or cringy or whatever. What names y'all got?
MC Churro.
Churro, what you got? What you got?
Yours, bro. What was
Oh,
yours?
mine was
Xbox, bro.
your homie Kyle.
Yeah, your homie Kyle.
That used to be my Instagram.
It was like your homie Kyle Hunnit or something like
Yeah,
that.
and then I used to be this face Kyle, and then now I'm DJ Asthmatc.
What about when I
Okay.
would go over to your house, bro? And you know how Xbox sometimes you'd have to
Oh,
like create
Kyle
different...
WWE 17.
No, what was the other one? Pinoy, something like that.
I don't
You had
remember
one
that
like Kyle Pinoy.
Oh,
XXX.
Kyle X Pinoy X.
There we go.
Oh my god.
I just remember always being that username. Like, bro, use this one. I was like, fuck. All right.
How about you, Jonathan? What are your user tag names?
Oh my god, bro. This is
It's
fuck.
it's
Hey,
okay.
man, we're all sharing our
Yeah.
embarrassing past lives.
Yes.
We
I
made
think
usernames back
this
in
is so
childhood.
fucking-
Oh, I remember one of them. Okay, go ahead.
No, go, share.
Shadow Marks 1 2 3.
The 1, 2, 3.
So edgelord.
Oh my god. I remember the first fucking email I created. It was like Iron Knight. Like the fucking like 36.
I see that. That's what you like to stick in.
Fucking A,
How
bro.
about y'all?
So fucking stupid.
It was I don't know the number, but it was like Frosty Bill or something.
Frosted Bill.
Yeah, Frosty Bill, like my name's Bill, like Frosty Bill.
Okay.
Because in science camp, I was like, I want to be Frosty. I was like, I don't want to, you know how you get to choose your names? And then I was like, no, I don't want to be Frosty. And then I said Frosty Bill. I don't know why, but it was Frosty Bill. That was like my Facebook name because I didn't want my parents knowing I had a Facebook, so I just put
Frosty Bill.
Bill.
Mine was Tommy Guns.
Oh,
See, that's
That's
cool, bro.
cool.
That's
Yeah,
cool,
Tommy
bro.
Guns. There was a number. I forgot the number. We always put numbers on
Yeah,
there,
I
right?
remember there was a the number, but I forgot.
Because every time you put something out and there's like somebody got it, and then you gotta do the number.
Yeah, that's why I had the Roman numeral 13.
Right.
Like on the end of mine when it was like taken up. Although,
That's smart though.
Except for like the Pokemon like trading card game online game or whatever, because it's Pokemon like a trading card game is kind of like for children, right? So they didn't want the how like certain like platforms will like you can't use certain words or variations of it in usernames. So like if you ever play Call of Duty, they're notorious for like Mike Hawk and like that sort of thing. Just like degenerate, like putting like like dig and like whatever, in like usernames, right?
Pen Island.
So apparently, addict was too much. So I had to vary it to like minty fresh. As
The fuck were you doing in a commercial for Orbit, bro?
Minty fresh.
I'll get.
It was a suggestion from someone, like you should vary it to that because they were like getting me into like Pokemon TCG. So I was just like, you know what? Yeah, that works.
Wait, I did want to ask you. You watch anime?
I do.
And what is your most favorite anime? And another question is, what are you watching? What anime are you watching now?
Okay, so I can't do the favorite of all time because
that's fair.
It really just depends on like what I. No. That's not top tier for me. It's not low tier. It's not like degen like just nasty whatever stuff that I've seen, but it's like mid tier.
Okay, she got levels to this.
Well, no. But that's not what I wanted to mention. I kind of okay, so I would say the anime that's like maybe most influential to me is this one called Revolutionary Girl Utena. It's kind of a unique anime where it's sort of a deconstruction of a genre. So, like of the magical girl genre. So, like the magical girl, the one of the more popular ones from that genre are like Sailor Moon or Cardcaptor Sakura, where they kind of like, they're kind of like this like ordinary girl, that sort of thing, with just, real emotions, maybe aren't like the greatest at stuff, but they've kind of been like, I guess like chosen to like, like save the world or like, save the, their community from harm and that sort of stuff. And they literally transform like, via magic, into this kind of like fighter essentially and like, do good. And it's sort of, very like girl power and that sort of stuff. But this anime, which I wouldn't recommend if you've never watched anime before, I wouldn't recommend this as your first anime because it has a lot of like nuances to it, and it's very dark. And so it's not something like, if you like never heard of anime before, then I would recommend you like the kind of easy go-to, like popular one, just to kind of like get you exposed to the genre. But, if you're kind of a little bit seasoned and wanting for something kind of like darker, or something a bit more philosophical, then I would recommend that one. But I liked how pretty the anime was, but then also this like deeper meaning of just like things like gender roles and like, cause she's like Utena, she's this girl, she's kind of like a tomboy, she kind of acts very like princely, and she's like super popular with the ladies. Like everyone like, wants her to, like to spend time with them and that sort of stuff. Cause she's like super cool. She kind of dresses like in the boys' uniform, and she also like beats all the boys in like basketball and stuff. Like she is like, she will literally steal your girl. Like she is so cool. Yeah. So I was just like, she's super cool. And, I just like appreciated her energy, and she, really tries to like save this one girl, like, Anthe Himemiya, who's like, due to like magical, whatever stuff, is like, forced to kind of be under the control of, you know, whoever, I guess, like, wins this duelist fight. And, like, you know, Utena tries to, like, save her, you know, from these, like, you know, like, other due to her, like, being abusive to, you know, like, Anthe and, like, that sort of stuff. There's, like, a whole lot more to the anime, and there's that, like, you know, like, deeper meanings and just about, like, that sort of stuff. Like, there's, like, literary analyses of it, but it's just kind of, I think it's just kind of one of those animes that I watched that, like, I guess help me understand, like, who I am as a person.
Yeah.
But I also have some, that one's a little bit of a weird one, but I also have some, like, more, like, if you never watched anime before, you could probably go watch these, like, Rurouni Kenshin. Is a great redemption story where Himura Kenshin, he basically was, like, a ruthless, like, killer during, like, this, like, very iconic war in, like, Japanese era, you know, kind of like the end of the samurai and that sort of stuff. And so, like, he's like a dude who has, like, a reputation that constantly follows him, but he just at the end of the war realized what kind of damage he had done. Like, he really reshaped Japanese society, but through killing countless of people. And he's just like, I don't want to have blood stained hands anymore. I want to live, you know, like, live a life without killing. And so, but unfortunately, the reputation, like, keeps catching up to him. And there's all these people who are like, because, you know, he's a ruthless killer, people are like, he's the strongest man in Japan. I want to try and, they either want to pretend that they're, like, the, you know, ruthless killer, or they find him and they want to beat him.
Right.
And so it's just kind of like his journey of just, like, kind of, like, trying to make a difference in his, like, community or his world or whatever by, like, protecting others by the sword in a way that's, like, different than, like, the way that he was in his past. And I just think it's really nice because he just has a perspective on life that is just, like, really different than, like, others who, like, didn't live or fight during wartime.
Right.
And so just, like, he's just a really great character. He's also, like, super badass. I'm just like, oh,
wait,
so cool.
did you like the live action version of it? Have you seen it?
Wait, there was a live action of Rurouni
I didn't
Kenshin?
watch it. I'm not.
What?
It's like Attack on Titans. There's a live action. They're never that good, right?
Wait.
I'm a little
Rurouni
weird.
Kenshin.
Yeah, I'm a little bit wary of live actions. I don't know if it was good or not.
Dude, you've never seen Dragon Ball Evolution? It's like the greatest, bro.
Oh my god.
Bad.
Goku's white, bro.
Goku's white.
Yeah,
It's like
and
Avatar.
I'm a little wary of live actions just because they don't really live up to the anime. I actually also read the manga, which is, like, you know, the print graphic novel, and there's also an OVA that I want Jonathan to watch. So, actually,
Come on, Jonathan.
So I've been trying to get him into anime, and, like, he really likes Rurouni Kenshin. I'm so glad he does.
Okay, that's a start.
Yeah, just, like, nostalgic, you know, like 90s anime, that sort of stuff.
See, the thing for me is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anime in general, folks I've come across that watch it, they're super overwhelming with it. Like, it's to the point of intimidation. It's like, oh, have you watched this one, that one, this one, that one? Do you know about this character, blah, 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 X, Y, Z? And I'm just like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, if I'm going to introduce you to hip hop, I'm not going to be like, you got to listen to Logic, you got to listen to Tupac, Biggie Smalls, you also got to listen to, like, you know, so. Like, I'm like,
They're just excited. They're just excited to share. They're
so I'm just like,
share.
you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm a little hesitant. It's just like a little intimidating.
Yeah.
So, you know, I sample a little bit here and there. You know what I'm saying, bro?
And I feel like with shows, like, a lot of people that are into anime say that you get so attached to the storylines, and it just resonates so much, and, like, that's why, like, a lot of them are so, like, passionate about it. Like, today I just had a conversation with my coworkers about, like, anime and stuff like that. They're like suggesting all the things to me because I don't really watch anime, and I asked them, I was like, oh, so, like, what do you guys think I should watch and stuff? Because, like,
the thing is that there is, like, an anime for just about anything. So it really just depends on, like, what kind of a mood are you in? Like, are you looking for, like, a feel good? Are you looking for, you know, horror or just slice of life? Kind of like, you know, looking into, like, someone's, like, everyday life. Or are you looking to, like, kind of like hero stuff, or just, you know, like, you know, fighting, bam, bam, or just like, or like romance. So there's
so many.
Yeah. So I mean, I can give you recommendation, but it really just depends on, if you're looking for a TV show or like a movie or just, because
What genre do you enjoy?
Yeah,
There's so
because,
many.
to someone who, maybe they're just, they're not really into the gore and violence and they just want like a really good, like, feel good story, you could easily go with like the Miyazaki films. Because, there are kind of like targeted towards children, but there's just a lot of like good messages from some of that, like Spirited Away is
Yeah.
one that's really like nostalgic for
Fuck,
me.
dude, that shit made me cry.
Yeah, so
Now I have to ask you a question, Elena.
Yes.
So, in terms of as a fan of anime, who is your guy crush, the anime character? Like you know what I mean? Like that.
Wait, I think I know this one.
Okay. You want to take a stab at it, Jonathan? And so she'll tell you.
It's that teacher from My Hero Academia.
Aizawa.
There we go. That's his face.
Well, I don't know. It really just depends on the anime or like my
I'ma
mood
kill
or
him.
whatever.
I don't care. He's got like straps and stuff like that. I'll fucking like get scissors and cut it.
Usually when I watch an anime, it's like one of those things where like you watch a show and you kind of just like start picking favorites and stuff.
Right.
And so, I got like, my Animu husbandos and all
Okay,
that stuff.
okay.
So it really just depends. It really just depends.
I'm just
Like,
kidding.
so, if you know, like My Hero Academia, the teacher, Aizawa, he's a mood because he's like always tired, but it's because a lot of his like, I guess, hero work or, like, in addition to like teaching young like heroes how to like fight and stuff, he also does his own like, work to like, like protect, their society from like, villains and like that sort of thing. But a lot of his work is done at night. So like the dude barely sleeps. So he's just got like, ruffled like curly hair. He's just like, his eyes are just like, and he's just like, he just like wants like none of your bullshit, but like he's a really like caring dude and stuff. He just has like a very like rough exterior and that sort of stuff, but he's like really proud of his like like his students and wants them to kind of like push beyond their like kind of mental like limits and stuff. Like they're like it's kind of one of those things where it's just kind of like, oh, this is so hard, I don't think I can do it, but he tries to like push you more and that sort of thing. Even if it's a little bit harsh, he like, is kind of a like he really cares about stuff. But he's kind of someone who is kind of more in the background, and I guess I like resonate with that because there's other like I guess like heroes in their society that like fight villains that are very like flashy and out there and like really like I guess market themselves. So a lot of people know about them. But that doesn't necessarily mean that like they're the best ones just because they're super flashy. Whereas like he kind of like works in the shadows and like does more kind of like sneaky stuff and that sort of thing.
What's the
You know what I was thinking?
He's an unsung hero.
You know what I was thinking in terms of while you were describing it? I was thinking you were describing Jonathan.
He's always tired all the time.
The caring guy,
Wait, hold
the
on,
rugged,
okay.
on the
See, I can understand
background.
like I can understand the secretive. The what?
So rugged, right? That's what he said, rugged.
Rugged? What the fuck?
Exterior.
Rough exterior. I don't know.
I was like, I know my hair's fucked up today, but fuck, I ran out of pomade. Fuck. See, I don't know about the being tired all the time, but I definitely can relate to the being in the background, being in the shadows as I talk to y'all. Actually, when we had a little chat up right there.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel it. That's why I was like, oh, that's Jonathan.
Wow. I will say one thing though. I know I'm about to get canceled by anime fans.
Okay.
I love watching dubs. All right. No. Hear me out.
Wait, what?
Hear me out. It's for convenience. It's just there.
God.
You know what I'm saying?
Without
Like,
captions. Because sometimes it never aligns with the captions, or a lot of the time.
Yeah, no, they
so
don't.
like I'll
yeah.
watch,
It
I'll
does.
like watch the dubs just because convenience, that sort of stuff. I get it. It's trash. The fucking characters are named something bizarre, which is my favorite thing to troll Elena with because in Rurouni Kenshin, they have Rurouni Kenshin or Himura Kenshin, Batosai, and they'll like butcher it like Bachusai, or there's the character Senosuke. They call him Senosuke.
Oh no.
Or the character Kaoru, they like butcher it with Corey.
You have
and so
to
every
watch.
time I'm watching with Elena, I'm just like,
You forgot.
that's Corey.
You forgot your favorite Mexican.
Oh yeah, the little scruffy hair kid, Yahiko.
I haven't seen that
They
one
call
yet,
him
though.
Yoshi, but then I was like Yahiko, and I was like,
He's
okay.
Mexican.
You know, he looks Mexican. You know, he's Mexico.
He's like scruffy, spiky hair, short. Brown.
That looks like my cousin.
Yeah, so so Rurouni Kenshin had 2 dubs. The one that I watched was not the bad dub. The one he's referring to is the bad dub. Like where they just change up the names. All the like names are like mispronounced. Part of the reason why I like watching with like subs, just because I like to, I guess, get a taste or understanding of like the original like dubbing.
Because in terms of culture is rooted in the language.
Yeah.
The expression, the way things are said, the tone. Those are things that comes with a culture. And to understand the culture that you're watching, you have to watch it their natural language. And so the sub, even though I hate reading, I have to hear it in its natural form.
Yeah.
In
Sometimes
essence.
you hear a lot of like repeated words, or when you kind of look up, like things about like the Japanese language and that sort of stuff. It's not like a true representation of their culture, but you can. It helps you understand like the nuances and that sort of stuff, and especially when it comes to things like, I guess, genders that they like identify. So there's, for example, there's way of saying like I am, like so like men usually say like boku wa, or like, but the, female or like that way of saying is like watashi wa. And so sometimes there's subtleties that are missed in translation, because the way he's saying it in English is not any different depending on like what, I guess, gender you identify as. But sometimes there's certain jokes that are kind of relating to like the way that certain words are used based off of like what, I guess, like gender you identify as, or the joke is that like, it's like a girl that's using it who's like either disguising herself as a boy, or pretend disguise as one, or that sort of thing. So like in like gender bender, that's a genre. And so or just like the joke of like girls having boy names and like that sort of stuff. So it's just kind of some things get kind of missed if you like, I guess, like never delve into it. But then at the same time, there are some pretty solid dubs that just like, like add a certain kind of tone or experience to, like, for example, I would say shows like Cowboy Bebop and like Yu Yu Hakusho had some decent dubs. The reason why I like the Yu Yu Hakusho dub is just because the main character Yusuke, he's kind of like a delinquent or whatever, and there's another delinquent guy from the same school, Kuwabara. Their bantering is just on a whole nother level of like ridiculous, like, and just hilarious. Because they're just like always at each other's throats. They're like best friends and stuff, but they also like get at each other's throats, and it's just like actually hilarious in the dub and stuff. Like the sub is good too, but I think there's just certain like, I guess, like nuances like in the English dub that actually like added to it, and I didn't mind it.
Right,
And the other ones are like notoriously bad. Yeah, they have a reputation for just being
Sure. So what about other folks? What's your favorite anime?
I just got into it recently. I started with Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
Demon Slayer, and I just finished Attack on Titans.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And those are the ones that are like really popular.
They're really popular right now.
I haven't watched the next season of Demon Slayer, but that one, like, people were really hyping
The
up.
movie?
Is that the one with the pig head?
Yeah. With,
Well, that's not the main character, but
yeah.
yeah.
That
But
shit
there's
is
like a
crazy.
character with a pig head.
The whole
There's a
concept and
movie.
everything. Yeah, I saw
there's
it.
a
You saw it?
It was
You saw
really
the
good.
movie?
Yeah.
Wait,
Some
for
people
Demon
said they
Slayer or
cried.
Attack Titan?
Huh?
Some people said they cried.
Oh, yeah, I cried
a lot of people cried.
That movie was so
That
sad.
one's really intense. Also, Attack on Titan is really intense.
Crazy. It's just
Do
fucking.
you know the premise of that one?
Attack on Titans?
Yeah.
Yes, a little bit.
You would like it. It's Armed Revolution. Armed Revolution.
The story of like the others and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
kind of
others.
brings up an interesting conversation about like othering and like that sort of stuff and
Yeah.
the human experience.
that's what it is.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's crazy. I read this article where they were saying it was a big thing for like people who like liked armed revolution and like socialism and all that. And it was also a big thing too for racists, because it was okay for racists to like not have to pay back for their past and what they did. And it was a weird article, so weird.
Wait, is
it
this
was like
for
very
Demon-
subjective in how
this
you
Demon
understand.
Slayer or Attack on Titan?
It's Attack on
No,
Titan.
Attack on
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I did have a question for Kyle. You watched Demon Slayer in the movie, and you said you cried.
Yeah,
And so
I did.
I'm curious, which parts you cried?
Why? Wait, what?
Wait, I
Spoiler
haven't
alert.
seen it. I haven't seen
Oh,
it.
okay, never mind,
haven't
never
seen
mind.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, never mind, we're not
Never
Okay.
mind, never
You
mind.
saw it? You saw it, Elena?
No.
No. Oh.
I haven't seen it either.
I want to watch more. I kind of fell off on Demon Slayer. I initially watched it and I'm like, the first season, I'm like, bro, this shit's so good. Why is there no season 2? And then by
Yeah.
the time season 2
It's coming
rolled
to
through,
September.
I
It's
kinda
It's a
forgot
beginning
about
to
it.
season 2. It's like an opening before season 2.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. So season 2 is probably gonna come out like this year. So y'all have some
Oh, it
time.
hasn't even come out yet.
What
No
about you,
leakers.
Simone? Do you watch any?
What's your favorite anime,
I
Simone?
don't really watch anime.
Oh, we
so I
gotta
can't
put you
say.
on.
Yeah, I can't say. So yeah, put me
Okay,
on.
how about we give you a recommendation
Yeah.
instead?
What? Let's
and
ask
Oh, no.
her.
You talk about
Oh, no.
how you felt about it on the next episode.
Okay.
Next episode.
I really like the one that you said that like, oh, you wouldn't recommend like first.
Oh
First
my
people,
God,
like
you-
I really like that one because you said philosophical, and you said it's kind of like dark, and I was
Oh
like,
my god.
Revolutionary Girl Utena, I think
Yeah.
it was.
Okay,
Yeah.
so oh my god, I don't want you to come back like being like, girl, what is that? Okay.
Girl, my world is shaking upside
so,
down.
It's just with Utena, there's just so much going on. Like, like gender roles are, blurred and just like all sorts of kinds of romances going on. It's not just like the typical heteronormative. It's like all over the place. There's even some like nasty like. It just
In the words
wait,
of
wait.
Simone, shebang bang.
yeah, it just gets like.
Wait, what were you saying, Simone?
because I watched like Beastars with my sister, and that
Wait,
shit was
what?
pretty weird. Beastars.
Beastars.
When they're like humans, but their heads aren't humans. When they're animals, I don't know.
Yeah, they turn into animals.
turn
It's
into
Beastars.
animals?
They turn into beasts.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
anime. They got some crazy
that
minds.
genre of weird. It's like
It's crazy.
Just like different. Okay.
yeah, and
Girl, you should, man, once you get into anime, oh my God, you know how you be posting like, your crush?
Yeah.
Wait, and it's like, usually it's like a white guy. After you watch anime,
Timothy Chalamet.
you be posting like Asian guys.
okay.
It's gonna be like
Really
Pegasus.
interesting topic. There's actually a lot of like white worship in Asian
There is.
cultures.
I noticed that.
and it's evident in anime. Actually,
Really?
there aren't a lot of like brown or black characters, and they're usually like considered like tokenized, which
Tokenized.
is really interesting. Like, or even in just like video games, it's just the whole like colorism and that sort of stuff where it's just like fair skin is praised and then like
Yes.
darker skin or
Yeah.
you're considered like lower class or dirty, that sort of stuff. And so yeah, it's just kind of sometimes people who kind of like get into anime or try to immerse themselves in Japanese culture, they kind of take a lot of what they like to see out of the culture. But just like any culture out there in the world, whether it's like US or Asia, Europe, whatever, there's gonna be kind of not so great thing.
For sure.
And so, I just thought it was funny, your comment or whatever, just because honestly, anime characters are not necessarily drawn to represent Japanese people.
For sure. I think, a lot of stories are Western stories too.
Yeah,
It's just
or they're
in-
kind of
in that
themed around
form.
Western stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
of maybe just like kind of like admiration of, or just, almost,
Yeah.
or to the point of like worshiping
What
almost.
about you, Mike? Who's your anime crush?
I wanted to ask Elena if you watched When I Got Turned Into a Slime. Have you seen that?
Why is that?
Is that
name
like a
so
new
funny?
one?
Yeah, it just came. Well, the second season just ended, It's like basically a guy got killed and then he went for afterlife and he turned to a slime. And then the slime, and then of course the character development, he gained powers.
I feel like I saw the title, maybe like the promotional image, and I'm just like, what the heck are people doing with anime nowadays?
But that's what I said when I saw like a slime. But then I watched the whole thing. It's beautifully done. There's character development. There's this like building community. It's a lot of great messages, and I just fell in love with it. But I think I asked in regards to the topic of anime because I wanted to transition into Trece.
Yes, I watched the trailer. So good.
So there's actually, in terms of the Philippines and the Filipinos, there's a lot of artists, graphic novel artists that are Filipinos, one of the greatest in the industry, but we don't have our own in terms of the general audience, like worldwide audience. And in terms of animation, there's actually a lot of Filipinos in the animation industry also. But now there's a graphic novel that did well in the Philippines. It's called Trece. And now it's coming out with an anime. So it's a Filipino anime. And yeah, it's called Trece. The story is like a babaylan mandirigma. Babaylan are like healers. And and mandirigma is a warrior. So basically, all the Philippine mythology creatures, which the Philippines is rich in a lot of this mythology and like creation myths and all that. And so now all these characters and all the stories about Filipinos and their culture is going to come out. And yeah, it's coming out on June 10 on Netflix.
Okay.
Netflix?
Yeah. And I'm like, basically, Filipinos are going to break the internet watching this and supporting this.
Yeah.
And I think after this, there's going to be more to come because people are going to see that there's a demand for it, to consume it, because we are, as Filipinos, we are so hungry for representation.
Yeah.
And this is one aspect of bringing that representation to tell our stories.
Really
and I'm excited about it. And so I'm thinking about doing a live showing, or what do you call those? Just
Viewing?
Let's do it.
yeah, viewing.
Viewing party?
Yeah. So I'm thinking about it. I have to figure out to get a projector and get a popcorn machine.
Popcorn,
yeah.
Or
But
just have the folks at the corner sponsor be like, hey, let's do a little business transaction.
Right.
You can come through, bro.
So yeah, that's what I'm excited about in terms of anime.
awesome.
Definitely, yeah.
I feel like in terms of like the kind of Asian ethnicities people are aware of, I feel like they're more aware of like Eastern Asians,
Yes.
so like that would be like, like China, Japan, like South Korea.
Yes.
And like less of like maybe like, like
Southeast.
South Asians or Southeast Asians or even like, Pacific Islanders, that
Yes.
sort of stuff. And so it's really cool that like it's kind of seeing this like breakthrough where, people can kind of enjoy media from, like just different cultures and that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
people can just kind of see like how wonderful it is. Cause I would say that, there was a period of time where like kind of like anime and like manga was kind of making a breakthrough into like the US, and like I would say it's a bit more mainstream than it was before.
For sure.
Like, cause like people have always heard of like like Dragon Ball Z and like Pokemon, whatever, right? That sort of stuff. But I felt like growing up, I was considered a bit of like a nerd if I was like really into like anime and stuff, which I really was. So like a little bit obsessively and like that sort of stuff. And when you're just kind of like a kid who's like different from others, people are just like, they don't like that, or they feel uncomfortable by that, or there's something that's going on within themselves. They just feel the need to like take that on you. And
Yeah.
which, it's kind of, I've faced a little bit of that, unfortunately, but I feel like it's a little bit more, not that everyone's into it, but people have like at least heard of it and that sort of stuff. But I wouldn't mind seeing kind of just like more media from like countries other than maybe like
Yes,
Japan or,
yes.
China, like that sort of thing. I mean, even like K-pop and stuff, I would say. I don't really keep up with K-pop. I used to for a bit, but I mean, it's cool that like you know, or just even just like a Korean like movies like Parasite, like that sort of thing. Like,
that was
like
so
how
good, bro.
how like you know, like that became like super popular,
Yeah.
you know, across like, you know, like multiple kind of like regions and that sort of stuff, and you know, for like being a foreign film, and
Yeah.
it's kind of good to like just see cool stuff from like different cultures and that sort of stuff. So just like that, you know, like you know, Filipino anime that's like coming out and stuff with like, you know, about like the legends. I think that'll be like a really cool experience for people to kind of get a taste of like, you know, what it's like. And you know, some people like kind of like the creation myths or, you know, lore kind of stuff.
Yes, the lures.
You know, from just like you know, different cultures.
Because there's
and-
so many, right?
yeah, there's so many that are
it's-
just kind of like not really talked about, and I
For
think
sure.
it's kind of it's kind of a shame. There's just like when you learn about those kind of things, it's kind of like when you start learning about, you know, like native, you know, like creation
Yeah.
stories and that sort of stuff. You kind of see like their perspectives on how they see the world in comparison to like, you know, like maybe
The
like
Western world,
society, and it's
yeah.
just like kind of mind-boggling. Just I feel like, you know, like natives were doing like they knew about sustainability before it was like this weird cool thing.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask the questions to cap it up. What character or animation would you create if you had the chance? So we'll start off with our guest, Elena.
What kind of anime would I create?
Yeah, that represents you, your story, or the one that you like to see.
I guess you can go for like themes or something like that.
Oh, that's kind of hard. I don't know. I guess
The one about a potato.
The one that turned into a
That
potato.
sleeps
why does it turn into a potato? I guess if I wanted something fantastical or just silly, yeah, something about like a potato. Just because.
That sleeps all day. I'm just kidding.
Or I guess on a more serious one, I would kind of make like maybe like a slice of life about someone, about just like the being like mixed ethnicity. Just because I feel like when people talk about like ethnicity or race, it's always they just think of like, if you're this, you're this, just very black and white. And like in reality, there's just a lot of like mixing of cultures that happen and like ethnicities and that sort of stuff. But it's just kind of because people, it's kind of interesting how sometimes if you're like biracial, depending on what mix, people kind of latch on to one or the other.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, like Tiger Woods, he's like half Thai. But no one talks about that. They
Right.
just talk about the fact that he's black.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like, you know, like Saweetie, like I didn't even know she was like half, you know, like,
Filipina.
yeah, Filipina, right? Because mostly you just talk about people, you know, because she is half black and part of the black culture. That's kind of like what people think and see and focus on. But like, there's just so much more to people, and people, when you're like multiracial or biracial, whatever, you're a part of those cultures just as much as anyone who's just like one or the other. But you're, some people just look like outsiders looking in. They just are very confused by that.
Right.
And so, I would kind of like want to make, some kind of like anime or story just about like the experience of being like mixed race and just like, you know, being a part of so many cultures, but then also feeling out of touch to them in comparison to other people at the same time. And I think it's just something that like isn't talked enough. And I would like to see more of it as someone who's like mixed and
Yeah.
like racially ambiguous. And
It
that sort of
reflects
stuff.
your story. I think that would be dope. I think the idea of just, you know, attached to one, as you said, but
Yeah.
the struggle of learning more about themselves as both sides.
Yeah.
And then coming to
or like
an understanding.
multiple sides.
Yeah.
Because whenever people ask me like what my ethnicity is, I just say like, you know, like half Chinese, half white. But in terms of like my white side, I guess if my grandmother was actually like an ethnic Jew. So like of like Eastern European descent. And so people will consider Jewish people as like non-white, right? So you could say like I'm a quarter white, quarter ethnic Jew. And even just like the explaining, you know, the whole like story about ethnic Jews and that sort of stuff is kind of like a complicated topic because people think of the religion.
For sure.
But there's also like the Jewish people, right?
Yes.
So it's just kind of interesting and there's just a lot of different like nuances and that sort of stuff. And just kind of knowing about people's like family stories is just really interesting too.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that too. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know when you produce it.
Well, that requires money I don't have.
Okay. Who wants to share about their
Here goes.
what would they create?
Kyle wants an anime
Well,
about
first
a
of all,
Filipino DJ.
this
Filipino DJ. Who likes
this
ketchup?
character is gonna be brown. He's gonna have hella tattoos, and he's gonna have a fresh ass haircut.
Okay.
Is he gonna have a perm?
There's not
No
enough-
perm, no perm.
There's not enough brown representation in anime,
Yes.
so like you gotta bring in that
Has to be
melanin,
brown.
you know.
Okay, let's go.
Maybe if I were to think about one, maybe a Filipino American activist, maybe during like the civil rights movement, who
Just-
helped
just
organize
say
in
you.
the Bay Area.
Just say you in a different
Whose
era.
name is just so whose name just so happens to be Kyle.
Activist by day, DJ by night. He does hella coke. The weekends
my
are so
God.
charged. I'm kidding. It don't work that way. It don't work
Not
that way.
anymore.
Okay. How about you, Jonathan?
Honestly, I think I do something similar to Boondocks, like the way they had that stuff. Like I know it's not like directly anime, but I love that. I just fucking
The cleverness
love that show.
of the social things.
Fucking love that show, bro. I mean, you know me. I'm obviously gonna have some shit related to
The
like
critique
social
of it.
problems, politics,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. But I think the way Aaron McGruder just, oh my god, the way he did Boondocks, like yeah, you know, obviously it was controversial at times, but it's just sort of like if you're reading it at the surface level, you're gonna miss out on everything, and you're gonna make these assumptions and just just dumb shit. But when you look into it too, right, and that's what a lot of people tend to miss out on, just analyses. When you really look into every character and you look at all the nuances of them, it really reveals a lot of aspects about not just people in society, but these issues and how they shape different people and stuff like
Yes.
that. But I'd most definitely have a character like Riley, like that guy, bro. Holy shit,
The hardcore guy.
Hey, it's Riley, aka Riley Escobar. You know what I'm saying? All this shit.
It's like the black anime, right? It's like a black anime.
Yeah, the
straight
black-
up.
You haven't watched the Boondocks?
No, I've not.
What?
I've seen it though. I've seen it, but I never watched it.
What?
Watched it. I've seen like a couple like scenes here and there, but yeah.
I mean, there's like Afro Samurai. Where
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
it's
about
kind
that
of
one.
Loosely based off of like there was like an actual samurai who was like of African descent in Japan, which was pretty cool. Like it was kind of weird how like this one like general guy or shogun or whatever, he was just like so fascinated by this
Slavery?
African man. He thought that he had like paint on his skin to kind of like appear a certain way, so he had his servants like try to wash off the paint that was obviously not paint, it was his skin. He's just like, oh, he must be like a god. This is amazing. Would you mind serving under me? I'll give you lots of nice stuff. And
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
just like, okay.
There's actually an anime that's on Netflix about that, the Black Samurai.
Yeah, there is, but also, I mean, but also there was like Afro Samurai.
Yep,
kind
and there's
of,
so
you
many
know,
more
yeah.
different
But
spins
that
to
one's
it.
from a while back.
sure.
That's classic.
But in terms of boondocks, the word boondocks came from the Philippines. Boondocks means the mountains far away. So bundok means
Bundok.
like the mountains. So when they say boondocks, it's like, it means like, oh, the boondocks, like that means far away. So they're describing like far away in the mountains.
Because, like, from my understanding of it, I thought Boondocks was sort of like, in a sense, pejorative in the sense of like Hoovervilles or like broken down like cities or like something like that.
Yeah, it's just like something far away, like
Yeah.
whether it's how it's used. Yeah.
Also, where it's like socioeconomically like poor too. Like that's my understanding of it. I'm wrong. Please correct me, folks.
Boondocks.
But yeah, no, bro. Like aside from just the political commentary, it's also the humor, bro. Like holy shit.
No,
bro.
for sure.
Like
They're sharp with it.
When Riley he has the when Exhibit comes on the show, it's like, please Exhibit pimp my granddad's ride, please do it for my granddad for 9/11 for America. I'm like, what the fuck? Or like when the Obama gets elected, they make a whole song called "Dick Riding Obama," and it's like the funniest shit ever, bro. Holy shit! Wait, I'd do something like that.
For sure, for sure. So for me, I want to give Simone the last word. For me, it would be just the story of the Philippine Revolution. You know, it's the story of fighting colonialism and imperialism, and highlighting the people, not necessarily the individual heroes, but of course there's going to be heroes that are put on the mantle or put on a what do you call that?
Pedestal.
Yeah, on a pedestal, but definitely want to highlight the people in essence. So, but yeah, that would be my anime. So, Simone, give us your last word.
Simone. Simone.
I would probably do like some like Friends, but like me and my sister, like two sisters.
Okay.
Just like I don't know, living
Navigating to the world.
Navigating through the
Slice
world.
of life about
Yeah.
you two getting into like crazy situations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd
I would
be pretty
watch that.
cool.
Yeah.
Like very also like introspective, because you know how like Friends, it also has like some serious moments, and they actually go through shit sometimes. Yeah, kind of like that.
What would
Slice
you
of
What would you
life.
title it?
I don't know, because I feel like there's already a show called like Sister Sister. Obviously, but I don't know. I feel like the name is the hardest. The idea is not that hard.
For
but The name
sure.
is the hardest. Yeah.
Well, thank you all for sharing. Close us off, Simone.
Thank you guys for watching. Wait, why am I closing off? Shouldn't Jonathan close it off?
Go ahead, Jonathan. Close it up for your girl.
Well, folks, this has been an interesting episode featuring my girlfriend here. Make sure to stay tuned in, you know what I'm saying? Follow the updates, that sort of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yada, 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 yabba, dabba, doo. I don't know how to close this.
Everything will be linked down below.
Swipe up, click down. I don't know what you do.
Swipe
Comment
left.
below what
Para
your
español,
favorite
Pick Your Brain Podcast, por favor, visite Apple Podcast en español.
Yes, and if you're interested to see 13, yes, please comment, support. Let's go. Rah.
And don't come after me for watching anime dubs. I do it for the convenience, okay? My eyes get tired.
Leave a
All
comment
right.
down below what your favorite anime is.
Yes.
And if you're a dub or sub kind of person.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the post.
Okay.
All right,
Put it on the
y'all.
post.
We'll end it there.
And let's go. Bam, bam. Hey, hey.
All right. My name is Uncle Robert's no affiliations. I like dubs.
Bye.